Okay, so with seeing everything in the world around me being created, one of the first things that was easy enough to see was that the music being fed to me, or I thought I chose myself, was telling me things in the world. And at some points in times, it was talking to me directly about what's happening right now. And trust me, most people haven't been to where I've been. So if there's this obscure band talking about something that's happening in my world right now, then most people have never been near that. Those musicians have never been near that. I don't know. John Schaefer of Iced Earth was involved in the fourth. So this is one of these bands that I'm saying has been talking to me for a long time. And you can actually see now on Iced Earth, a lot of people are like, hey, they were talking to us like before and telling us a long time ago things were going to happen, and then they did. And so I'm saying that music is appearing like right there on the spot, just like the other stuff, just like people, whatever. I'm not sure if the people clones, something else that I'm supposed to differentiate from the average person. I can tell the average person some of them turned on me like completely, like they're no longer the same people. And so I'm just like, well, either you're like tied to this special link from the start, or and you're just as empty and able to hijack as everything else. So I don't. I guess like I've got some answers. If I'll make another video on that. But when it comes to the music is like appearing and speaking to me many times when I'm involved in stuff, and then like they came to me and they talked to me about time and stuff like that, and how things can be rewritten and stuff. And obviously, like if I'm seeing clones, how the hell are clones appearing over and over again if they aren't having like their history written? And yeah, it doesn't have to be rewritten, it's being written right there and they're appearing in the system, unless it's something else going on. But it definitely mirrors the physical world itself. It's not just like there could be a group of aliens here who are shapeshifters coming after us, and they have great massive powers no one can understand. Now, I'm not saying that that's not part of what's going on here, but I am saying that the physical world itself is being altered, and to speak with me sometimes, not just the people, but so once I see buildings and stuff like that, and signs people supposedly already hung, and they're talking to me exactly about this crazy stuff I'm going through right now, or if I ask a question and I look up and the answer is there. Okay, so we're coming to the music thing. I've heard the music appear many times. Situation I've been in, we're not going to discuss a lot of these situations where it was most apparent and stuff. Fun times, indeed. But so it made me question if the music. I'm pretty sure I see bands come out with CDs that they didn't have before. I followed like a few bands real closely when I was a child, and I bet I spent $50 to get one Megadeth song that wasn't out yet that they later released a year later on Hidden Treasures, Diadems, I think. Was it Diadems? And I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was the only song. I spent $50 to get that CD, that one song. Okay, so I think I know something about bands and foreign imports. So when a band I've been following and listened to, like like just like Megadeth and stuff, I know when they have CDs and when they don't. But I've seen music appear and start talking to me right away during stuff, and sometimes that music is like being posted right now with supposed a backstory that this band got together 9 months ago and started creating this record to release, to start speaking to, that just magically speaks to me right now about some crazy stuff I'm in. Because you bet you put your feet in my shoes, it's probably crazier than I'm always like, oh, this is so boring. It's because like when the camera's on, this is pretty boring. It doesn't matter how good I'm playing guitar or drums, or making up what people might see as fantasy tales, something like that. Ooh, the other stuff. They don't even make TV shows of that. They don't even make TV shows of it. It's too extreme. Too extreme. It really is. Shed a tear. Shed a bloody tear. But the music also started increasing in tempo when I like went out and joined the world, and they started to come to me to speak to me and try to say things like I'm creating the earth and stuff like that. And I'm controlling the world, stuff like that. And I'm God. So when they started doing that, like the music like increased, and I was starting to get involved in some stuff. So yeah, I mean, what was happening in 2020 while you guys were all in your house? Okay, think of it. Go back. You probably don't remember. No one seems to remember what happened yesterday. I think that's part of what can happen here. I think it's part of what they can do, and it's part of what I can do. So it's hard to like differentiate here, but it definitely doesn't feel like I'm 100% in control, even though I have people like coming to worship me basically and stuff, and you know, say, hey, this is happening because of you, and it's like it's really happening and stuff, and it's like, what other jackknape asked for this stuff to happen, and now it's happening. Like, it's hard to be like, oh well, it's either me or it's someone else coming at me. So when it comes to the music appearing out of nowhere, I've tried to figure this out. What is happening? We're in a confined technological environment. Some might suggest game or simulation. Okay? So I'm thinking some of this stuff is being either pre-made on the spot, procedurally generated, or auto-generated music. Or the thoughts of the creators are creating it on the spot. There's like, I already said pre-made on this, or pre-made or on the spot. I should have like separated that. Sorry, I said pre-made on the spot instead of pre-made or on the spot. But so there's like different modifiers here that can be applied to the possibilities that are happening here. And the pre-made could be it's pre-made outside before the earth was created to apply to a storyline, and it could mean that that's pre-made still by the creator of the storyline within the game if the creator of the storyline is the same as the one within the game. That modifier itself, that last part, can apply to every thought, period. On the spot, does that mean if something happens, music is being generated to appear to support the emotions and the situation? And that could be generated by heartbeats, adrenaline watch, something like that. Whereas they say they can read eyes and stuff. In emotions, you can do that generally. I mean, my eyes don't dilate, so you can't read them that way. But I don't really hide most other stuff. Like, I don't even like acting like I'm happy if I'm not, so why hide it? I'm kind of tired of that. So on the spot, who is it being made by on the spot if the music in this world is being made on the spot? Okay? And when we're discussing all this stuff, do keep in mind that they discuss time with me and show rewriting history isn't just a human thing where they bomb buildings and bomb libraries and erase people's history, but there's a parallel to everything on this planet that's really going on in a different format outside of what normal vision. I'm not sure if the humans are lying about not seeing this stuff or they just don't see this stuff, but it did take me a minute to see it was happening, even though it was, and they're definitely like making little links here and there. But so on the spot would mean it's being created right there when that thing happens, right? Like your adrenaline kicks in and they create some massive music. You have a thought like, oh my God, freaking, like the global government's chasing me in their freaking spy cars and stuff like that. You have a thought like that, and all of a sudden they create some music like top-notch James Bond killer music, something like that. Procedurally generated would mean that as you go through and experience different things, depending on which path you choose, the music would be altered differently. Or auto-generated mean basically it's that could still be on the spot. You can still combine certain things here. But what's happening? How does the music appear and stuff like that and talk to me? Like, and all of a sudden people support some of this music existed before, but it's right there to talk to me right there.